If you have ever googled what IT certification should I get, you already know the problem. You get 50 different answers from TIA Plus, Network Plus, Security Plus, AWS and so on. And nobody tells you which one to start with, which order to get them in, or which ones are actually worth your money. So today I am fixing that. In this video, I'm going to give you the complete IT certification roadmap for 2026. Every major cert, the right order for every career path, and my honest take on which ones are genuinely worth it and which ones you can skip. Welcome back to Chykes Academy. I'm Chykes, and if this is your first time here, this is the channel where we break down everything in IT and tech careers into the simplest possible language. Now, this video has been a long time coming. Over the last 4 videos, we have covered whether cybersecurity is right for you, where to start with zero experience, which paths I would personally pick if I were starting over, and a deep dive on TIA A+. Today is the video that ties all of it together, because one of the most common questions I get is, okay, I know I want to work in IT, but what certifications do I need, in what order, and which ones are actually worth my money? That is exactly what we are covering today. What is the structure? We are going to start with how the certification world is organized. Here is the tiers. Then we are going to walk through 4 clear career paths: IT support, cybersecurity, networking, and cloud, and map out the exact certifications for each path in the right order. Then I will give you my honest take on which certifications punch above their weight and which ones you can skip entirely. This video is longer, but every minute of it is useful. Let's get into it. Before we get into specific certifications, I want to give you a mental framework, a way of thinking about how IT certifications are organized. Because once you understand the structure, every individual certification decision becomes much clearer. Think of IT certifications as a 3-floor building, like a 3-story building. The first floor, the second floor, and the third floor. For floor 1, the foundation certifications. These are for beginners with no prior experience required, and they prove you understand IT fundamentals. These IT fundamentals you can see on my screen here: the hardware, software, and so on. The most important foundation certifications are TIA A+, which is the starting point for most IT careers, as covered in our last video. Next is the TIA IT Fundamentals, ITF+. This sits even below the A+. It's for people who aren't sure yet if IT is for them and want an introduction before committing to A+. And then we have the Google IT Support Professional Certificate, a Coursera-based certificate from Google that's grown in recognition significantly over the last 3 years. Having mentioned the foundation certifications, the goal of Floor 1 is to prove that you are competent with IT fundamentals, get in the door and land your first role. Floor 2, which is the mid-level certifications, these are for people who have their foundation and are now specializing. Yes, they prove deeper knowledge in a specific area like networking, security, cloud, and systems administration. The key mid-level certifications by specialization are as follows. TIA Network Plus, which is networking for fundamentals, is the logical next step after A+, if networking is your direction. The TIA Security Plus, which is the security for fundamentals, it is the most important mid-level cert for anyone going into cybersecurity, and also one of the most recognized certifications by US Department of Defense contractors. AWS Cloud Practitioner, which is the cloud fundamentals. This is the entry point into the Amazon Web Services ecosystem, the dominant cloud platform in the world. Microsoft AZ900 Azure for Fundamentals, which is Microsoft's equivalent entry-level cloud cert. If your target employers use Microsoft Azure, this is your starting point. Cisco CCNP is the gold standard in networking certifications. Is more advanced than the Network Plus and highly respected in enterprise environments worldwide. So the goal of Floor 2 is to prove you have specialist knowledge in your chosen area, more from general IT roles into specialized ones, and I must tell you, significant salary jump typically happens here. Floor 3, which is the advanced certifications. These are for experienced professionals with multiple years in their field. They represent genuine expertise, the kind that commands premium pays and salaries and senior roles. The key advanced certifications are the TIA CASP+, CISSP, which stands for Certified Information Systems Security Professional, AWS Solutions Architect Associate, Cisco CCNP, and PMP, which is Project Management Professional. The goal of Floor 3 is to cement your expertise, then move into senior architect or management roles. These certifications are where the top salaries live. So that's the building. 3 floors: foundation, mid-level, and advanced. Now let's walk through the specific paths, because depending on which direction you want to go, the route through these 3 floors look different. Okay, let's start with cybersecurity, because if you have been following along with this channel, you know it's the path I will personally choose. Here is the cybersecurity certification path in the right order. Step 1 is the CompTIA A+. It's the foundation and requires about 3 to 5 months to earn the certificate, and that is the cost for taking both of the exams required in CompTIA A+. Step 2 is the CompTIA Security Plus. It opens the door to SOC analyst positions, your likely first cybersecurity job, and it costs almost $400 to take the exams. Step 3 is the CompTIA CISSP. CISSP stands for Cybersecurity Analyst Plus. It also costs almost $400 too. Step 4 is where you choose your specialization. By this point you have a job, you already have an experience. Now you specialize based on what you have discovered you enjoy most. The total timeline from 0 to becoming a cybersecurity professional is this: with 1 consistent hour per day, A+ to security plus to CISA to your first SOC analyst job is approximately 12 to 18 months. That is not a long time for a career change that can take your income from $0 to $65,000 per year. If the way computers connect to each other genuinely fascinates you, if you love thinking about how data travels from one place to another, networking might be your path. Here is the networking certification path in the right order. Step 1, we have the CompTIA A+, which is the foundation, and it takes about 3 to 5 months. Step 2 is the CompTIA Network Plus, which is the mid-level and takes up to 2 to 3 months after A+, and it costs about $358. Step 3 is the Cisco CCNP, which is the mid-level advanced, and it takes up to 4 to 6 months after Network Plus. This is the certification that opens the door to serious networking careers. The salary jump at CCNP is significant. Junior network engineers with a CCNP typically earn this amount, and the ceiling rises quickly from there. Step 4, which is the Cisco CCNP or specialization. This is the salary range if you get into this role. The total timeline from 0 to becoming a network engineer is getting your A+, then to your Network Plus, to CCNA, then to your first network engineer role, and it takes approximately 12 to 20 months with consistent daily study. The CCNA alone takes most people 4 to 6 months of serious preparation. It's not easy, but it is absolutely achievable. Cloud computing is one of the fastest growing sectors in all of tech, and the certification landscape here is dominated by the 3 major providers: Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud. Here is the cloud certification path in the right order. Step 1 is the CompTIA A+, and it's optional for cloud. These are the details as you can see. And yes, my honest recommendation is, if you have zero IT background, do A+ first. Step 2, choose your cloud provider, which is the foundation cloud certification, and it takes up to 1 to 3 months. This is your first cloud specific step. You need to pick a provider, and your choice here should be driven by one thing: which provider are your target employers using? Is it AWS Cloud Practitioner? Is it Microsoft Azure Fundamentals or Google Cloud Digital Leader? My personal recommendation for most beginners: start with AWS. It has the highest demand, the most job listings, and the strongest ecosystem of learning resources. The exam costs between $100 to $250, which is significantly cheaper than CompTIA exams. Step 3 is the Associate Level Cloud Certification, which is the mid-level certifications for this part, and it takes up to 3 to 5 months after foundation certifications. This is where the real career doors open. Salary at this level is between $90,000 to $130,000 for cloud engineers and solutions architects. Step 4, professional level and specializations. Under this step, we have AWS Solutions Architect Professional, AWS DevOps Engineer Professional, and Google Professional Data Engineer. The total timeline from 0 to becoming a cloud engineer is approximately 10 to 16 months. Cloud is actually one of the fastest paths to a high salary. The demand is simply enormous right now. Now let me talk about the path that feeds all of the others, and one that I think is genuinely underrated as a long-term career in its own right: IT support and help desk. IT support and help desk is not just a stepping stone. For many people, it is a fulfilling, stable well-paying career path in its own right. And the certification route is the most accessible of all the paths we have covered today. Step 1. CompTIA A+, which is the foundation and takes up to 3 to 5 months. As we have established, A+ is the credential that almost universally opens the door to IT support roles. In our last video, we covered this in detail. Start here. Step 2. Google IT Support Professional Certificates. This Coursera-based certificate from Google has grown meaningfully in employer recognition over the last few years, and it costs roughly $50 per month on Coursera. Step 3 is the CompTIA Network Plus, which is mid-level and it takes up to 2 to 3 months after A+. Step 4 is the CompTIA Server Plus, and Step 5 is Microsoft 365 Certified Modern Desktop Administrator. If you choose IT support as a career, this is the honest income reality from entry-level help desk to IT manager. The ceiling is lower than cybersecurity or cloud, but the path here is more direct. The job stability is extremely high, and the lifestyle flexibility, particularly with remote IT support roles, can be excellent. Alright, I told you I will give you my honest take on which certifications punch above their weight and which ones you can skip. So here it is. They are worth every penny, so don't skip this. The first certification that is worth your money is CompTIA Security Plus, the best dollar for career impact ratio in the entire certification market. Every cybersecurity employer knows it. The DoD mandates it, and the knowledge it gives you is genuinely foundational. If you are going anywhere near cybersecurity, this is non-negotiable. Next is AWS Solutions Architect Associate. The market demand for the Cert is extraordinary. The salary premium is real and measurable. It is worth the effort regardless of where you are in your cloud journey. And we have the Cisco CCNP, the networking world's gold standard. Employers trust it. The exam is hard, which is part of why it carries so much weight, so it's actually worth the effort. Lastly, we have CISSP when you are ready for it. This is the credential that signals true security expertise to the market. The 5-year experience requirement makes it a long-term goal, but it is absolutely worth planning towards. The ones I will mention next are decent, but they are situational, like CompTIA the Network Plus. If your goal is CCNP specifically, some people argue that you should invest that study time in CCNP prep. Next is CEH, which is Certified Ethical Hacker, but it is controversial. The CEH is widely recognized, but many experienced security professionals feel the exam is too multiple choice heavy and doesn't test real practical skills the way the OSCP does. It's good for getting past HR filters at certain large corporations and less respected by technical hiring managers. Then we have the CompTIA CYSA Plus. I listed it on the cybersecurity path because for the SOC analyst role specifically, it is relevant. But if you skip straight from Security Plus to gaining real work experience, CYSA Plus becomes less urgent. Work experience beats a Cert at the mid-level. Now, you have to be careful with this. The CompTIA ITA Plus is only if you are completely new to computers and want a confidence-building introduction before committing to A+. If you have any IT background at all, skip it and go straight to A+. Also be careful with vendor-specific certifications below the associate level. Foundation level certifications from Microsoft, Google or AWS are good starting points, but have limited stand-alone career value. They are stepping stones, not destinations. Don't stop at Cloud Practitioner and expect it to open major doors on its own. And lastly, be careful with any certifications from a provider you haven't heard of. The IT certification market has some low quality providers that charge real money for credentials that employers don't recognize. Stick to CompTIA, Cisco, AWS, Microsoft, and Google, ISC2 and ISACA. If it's not from one of those organizations, please do serious research before spending money on it. Let me give you the clean summary. So screenshot this, write it down, and save it. This is your roadmap. If you want to work in cybersecurity, this is the order in which to take certifications, and the timeline is 12 to 18 months to your first job. If you want to work in networking, this is the right order in which to take the certifications, and the timeline is 12 to 20 months to getting your first job. So if you want to also work in cloud, this is the order in which you can take the certifications. The timeline for cloud is 10 to 16 months to landing your first job. Every path starts at the same place. A clear decision about which direction you are heading. Pick one and commit to it. The worst thing you can do is jump between paths, because each time you switch, you reset the clock. So pick your path, build your floor 1, then floor 2, then floor 3. That is the roadmap. So there it is, the complete IT certification roadmap for 2026. Every major cert, 4 clear paths. My honest take on what's worth your time and money and what isn't. Here is the one thing I want you to walk away with from this video. The certification roadmap is not the destination, it's the vehicle. The destination is the career you love, that pays you well, that gives you options, and that keeps you growing. The certifications and how you prove to employers that you have built the skills. But the skills themselves, the hands-on practice, the home labs, the real problems solving, that is what actually makes you competent. Get both. Now, here is what I want from you. Drop a comment below and tell me which path you are on. Cybersecurity, networking, cloud or IT support, or something else entirely. So tell me where you are starting from and where you want to go. I reply to every single comment personally, and I want to know your story. If this video added value, hit that button, that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who are trying to break into tech and need someone to break it all the way down for them. Subscribe if you haven't already, because the next video on this channel is going to be something special. We are going to break down cloud computing as a career, from what it actually is, to which platform to choose, to how much you can realistically earn, to how to land your first cloud job, and how to build a business around it in the simplest possible way. I'm Chykes, and this is Chykes Academy. We break it all the way down every single week. I will see you in the next one.